get a little bit hot, a hot topic, that's not the time to talk with at dinner table when the children are around. I've also found out that sometimes a good time it might be, you might have to go out to Panera or someplace and have a discussion. Why? Because you're going to control your voices while you're out among other people. I learned this from work. So when all the lieutenants get together and we go out and we call it off campus. So when we leave the police station and we go across the street to Panera Bread right there, it's right across the street, and we go and we sit down and have a conversation, we have to control ourselves because we're in a public setting. Control your voices because we have some hot topics there. And this way, we know that none of the other officers are hearing our business or anything else. Nobody, and you just have to control yourself. So you can be creative. Another way that we did this, now this is a good one, Pastor, I'm going to share it, but this was real good. I think it was the year before last. Okay, and one thing we had to learn, because it was good, we were doing good when we first started in the pastoral ministry with keeping up with date night and everything else, and one year they got away from us, really got away. I'm putting it on the pastor because it really got away. We missed everything. It did. Really got away. And when it seemed like we were finally going to have our time to utilize our Chateau Avalon certificate that the church blessed us with for our church anniversary, then I'd gotten terribly sick and hospitalized, and then we couldn't use it. And this was at the end of the year. And so I was determined, because we missed a Valentine's Day outing, then we had a marriage retreat that we were going to go to. Couldn't go there, or either we went and he was sick, and so that was like disappointing. He's over there with the flu. How can I enjoy a marriage retreat? And he's upstairs in this nice hotel. I think we was at the Western Crown Center, and he's sick. Well, that doesn't help. You know, and then he scheduled a football game outing on my birthday. So we missed that. I didn't get my chance to go to the Royals baseball game because the church was too busy. So we missed that. And then I get sick and I can't go to Chateau Avalon. So I decided we're going to, for Valentine's Day, I'm not going to Mother Boyer's Christian Women's Retreat. We're not doing the Daniel fast. It's going to cover into here, so schedule it earlier. Come on now. Okay? But we are going away. Yeah. So I got a good deal, and we went to the Welch Resort in Branson, Missouri. Oh, wonderful place, where the bedroom has the master bedroom has a fireplace that on both sides you see the fire because the other side is a big old jacuzzi. It's a wonderful place. Yeah. And so while we were out there, I decided I'm planning everything. To include buying some little games, like toy games, like back in the day games. One of the things I bought, though, you wouldn't believe it, I bought an oversized coloring book. All right. And some crayons. All right. There you go. And I said, yeah, we're going to color. All right. Of course, he looked at me like I was kind of off my rocker, but we're going to color. And that's exactly what we did. I opened up, I think he had Superman and I had somebody, some kind of female Wonder Woman or somebody on the other side. And we sat at the table, yes, in our low 50s, okay? And opened up and we began to color. But while we were coloring, we were talking. Right. And we were talking about some very tough issues that we would have normally gotten into an argument over. And we were just as peaceful as could be. We were talking, and there was no heated argument, nothing. It was amazing. And we resolved some issues that normally we probably would have had to kind of calm ourselves in any other setting. And that was just the neatest thing. After I convinced him, yeah, just go ahead, color. But it was fun. So, he said it was. To the man who says I've gotten him to do some crazy things in life, But what I'm saying is, timing is everything, so we have to be careful to maximize our time, and even the place of the conversation. If your spouse is already upset, that's not the time to turn around and talk about it. Listen, we can, when your spouse is upset, you know the timing, okay? And then sometimes when they're at peace and everything's just about right, why don't you create, ladies, we can create an environment.
Yes, y'all can.
You know, when we're looking for some extra money, we know we can create an environment. Okay? But the bottom line is, timing is everything.
Amen.
Okay, I know we're running out of time here. It's pretty close to lunch. The next one is, and we're almost done. The principle of mirroring. Understanding can be enhanced if we measure it often throughout a conversation. Okay, so what's important is that mirroring can help you test whether you are hearing your spouse properly. That's the one where you turn around and you ask the person, number one, you ask them, what I hear you saying is, or what do you mean by that? Why can't we stop, what do you mean by that? Now, the first thing I am going to say is, please, 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 please work hard. Don't interrupt. That is the hardest thing for us to do, most of us. Don't interrupt people while they're speaking. Because it really is disrespectful. It is. And we have a hard time doing that, most of us. Let the person finish talking. Okay? And then when they finish, then ask, what do you mean by that? You know, if you don't understand. And then, to make sure that you get an understanding, then ask them, what I hear you saying, so what I hear you saying is, or are you saying this? If you don't understand, get a clear understanding about it, because they may not be saying what you think they are.
Right.
Okay?
Amen.
But just remember, the point of mirroring is not to be right.
Right.
It's not so you can defend yourself, but to know that you are hearing accurately.
Right.
So it goes back to that fifth habit that Covey brings out in his book. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Try to get an understanding first, and then to be understood. Okay? Because if you're always just trying to push your own agenda, then you're not understanding where that person is coming from. And then you really can't communicate. So it's one of those things where you turn around, try to put yourself in that person's place. Try to see where they're coming from. Try to see why are they thinking what they're thinking, or why they're feeling what they're feeling. It doesn't mean you always have to agree with them, but you should at least try to get an understanding of where did they come up with this?
Right.
How did they get there? And then you be going, oh, well, yeah, I can see that. Doesn't mean that it was right, but the bottom line is you could see that. Kind of like what we do, or maybe we should be doing, when we're trying to lead people to Christ, especially when we're dealing with people that are that may be from cults or from other religions. When we start dealing with the Muslims, we have to understand whether they stand. When we start dealing with Jehovah's Witnesses, we got to see where they stand. And when we get an understanding of where they stand and where they're coming from, then we can turn around and then we have some kind of strategy to address why is it that they believe that way, and then how do we turn around and bring them in? Okay?
Amen.
Okay. Amen. So we're at that time. I think this is the last one. The principle of prayer. Success in communication is more likely when we invite God to be an active participant and guide. So not just praying with one another, but invite God to be an active participant and guide. No matter what principle you might be using at the time or what subject you might be talking about, no scenario is beyond prayer. Everything we need to invite God to be a part of it. Amen? Let's go ahead and close that out, Pastor. I think there's one more. Evangelist R.A. Torrey says, the reason why many fail in battle is because they wait until the hour of battle. The reason why others succeed is because they have gained their victory on their knees long before the battle came. Continuous prayer. Don't wait until you get in the battle to start praying. You should be praying before that time. Anticipate your battles. Fight them on your knees before temptation comes, and you will always have victory.
Praise God.
Amen. And then I think that is about it. So if you could bring up at least the resources in case anybody wants to. Next one. Just go to next. Scroll to next.
Just click off.
Okay. So those are some resources. The things that we covered today are from the first two online ones from FamilyLife.com and SelfGrowth.com. And then those are some recommended reading. That's very, yeah. I couldn't find my other one that says that men are like waffles and women are like spaghetti. That's and think about it. I mean, compartmentalized, and with women, everything is interwoven together. Okay, guys can just turn around and put it right here and they're good. And with women, no, it all goes together. Everything. Amen. I believe we're at time. Yep. Amen. God bless you.
Did you have anything you wanted to add before we close out with that?
I do, but we'll